Hello, thank you for coming back for our Daoism study. First, tea for your health and happiness. Today I'm drinking the bitter needle tea. Ming has talked about this tea that was maybe a couple weeks ago, actually in one of his videos in this group. He was drinking this bitter needle tea. I don't usually drink this tea because it's a cooling tea, and I tend to be needing something a little warmer. However, silly me, I ate a little too much roasted pine nuts last night. So it was so nice, it was so yummy. So I ended up eating more than I should. This morning I woke up, I was feeling the sore. My throat was very sore. In traditional Chinese medicine term, it would be as 上火. It means I had too much fire in my body. So I was a little, my throat was very hoarse. I was a little worried whether I'll be able to actually teach today. So I just steeped some these bitter needle tea. So the taste is it's pretty bitter, but if you get used to it, I think you can start to appreciate it a little bit. It's very good for clearing the extra heat in your body. So it's a good tea for me today. Bitter. So we started Daoism chapter 2 last week. So we talked about first half of the chapter 2. Today we'll just continue from where we left out. So last week we ended up finishing so I'm just going to read the first half again, then we'll continue today. We'll continue reading the second half. So what I'm using is Stephen Mitchell's translation of chapter 2. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. So a quick recap. So this is what we studied last week. So I'll continue. The next sentence is, so I'll start with in the Chinese version. So the second half is 是以圣人处无为之事，行不言之教。So the English translation is, therefore the master, some people will translate it as sage or the sage, acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. So the Chinese word 无为 is can be translated as 无 means no, 为 doing things, so can be translated as a no action. Sometimes people will just take these two words out of context, and then you might, like if you study Daoism or reading articles written on Daoism, sometimes you see people say, oh, say Lao Tzu is promotes Wu Wei, means no action. That means some people interpret it as that as just don't do anything. Like people, therefore people sometimes will label Daoism as a passive philosophy. So saying, oh, Lao Tzu saying just accept whatever comes and just take no action. That's why I really like Stephen Mitchell's translation. Here he says, he translated this as, therefore the master acts without doing anything. So it's clear. So the master acts. It's not like the master just gave up, or be it this couch potato, whatever happened, let it happen. So you can clearly see that's this is not what Lao Tzu is trying to teach us. However, what does it mean by the master acts without doing anything? I thought about how to explain what my interpretation of this sentence. And I thought about maybe, let's do this might be a good example. For example, at this moment, you're probably watching me on your phone or on your computer. Let's just take a moment. You can watch me, or just find something in your surrounding and just look at it for just a moment. So in that moment, what's there? There's the seeing, right? There's the object that the seeing is seeing, is the seeing is seeing. Think about it. Before the thoughts come in your head that I'm looking at something, where is the I in that moment when you were cleared your head, when you just simply looking at something? So there's that seeing and there's the object. We are very used to saying things like using I as the subject. So I was doing this, I did this, I look at that, I felt that, and like I thought of something. For example, we think the thoughts are ours, like we did the thinking. If we really can control our thoughts, like can you decide, like, or can you even know what will be the first thoughts that will come, like the tomorrow morning when you first wake up? Would you able to control? Would you able to decide that, or even know what that might be? Oftentimes that let's see, maybe, so there's this experiment I did once that I found was very interesting. It really gave me a clear, a little more clear idea of the no I, the acting without, let's say, what does it mean by act without doing anything? So I encourage you to do this experiment, and if you want, if you do it, then put in the comment, let me know what you found. For example, like today, when you eat lunch, so instead of you say I'm eating lunch, So put this I out of all of it. So put your I as let's say as the third person, is as if you are another person observing you eating lunch. So what do you think would happen? Do you think that would your body just stop knowing what to do, or do you think that your hand will end up putting food into your nose, or what do you think might happen? And give this a try and see what you'll find out. Some people might say that, oh, because let's say things as riding a bike, eating, things that relies on our muscle memory. That's why maybe we don't need us be as much in control. However, this might be hard if we want to do any kind of a creative work. For example, if we want to write, and if we want to, for example, how about composing a piece of beautiful music? I remembered, this was many years back, I remembered I was watching a documentary of this very famous musician. He talked about how one of his very popular song, how he came about writing this song. He was saying that it was after, I think, a concert, and the very, very a big concert of his, and he was still, after the concert, he was still feeling all the energy, so he was still very excited. At that time, he felt that the song came to him, and he wrote it down. He took only 20 minutes, and he finished this whole song, and it was a very beautiful, and up to be a very popular song. I was trying yesterday, as I was preparing for today's lesson, I was trying to see if I can find out who this musician was and what was that song. So I was Googling with words like famous musician, song after concert, and I remember the name. I think the title of the song was like a lady's name. I mean, certainly, how powerful as Google is, that I didn't really come up with, couldn't really come up with anything for me to help me to find it out. I even called my husband saying like, do you remember that was like many years ago about this? I don't remember who the musician is, and I don't remember the title of the song. I don't remember like who do you know who that musician is? So I was lucky he didn't hung up on me right away. However, I did find, that's the thing, when you have a wish, something will happen. May not be what you're looking for, but you'll find something in a way you're looking for. I found this this writing or words by Michael Jackson. He talked about, I think what he talked about was exactly what I was looking for, but he put it in a very beautiful way. He actually was able to say it better than I could. So I'm just gonna read what he wrote. I think then you get an idea what I was trying to say, what I was trying to find. So Michael Jackson talking about his process of writing his songs. He says, don't write the song, don't write anything. Let the song create itself. Let the things tell you what to do, where they should come. Let the piano tell you what chords to hit, whatever it feels. Let the bass tell you what it should be doing, everything. Let it create itself. Let it form. Let it do what it wants to do. Don't force upon the song. Let the song force upon you. let it tell you where to go. What I meant was a song creates itself. I'm just the source through which it comes. It all creates itself. When a song comes to me, I'm hearing the strings. I'm hearing the bass. I'm hearing the drums. Everything comes as a package. It's like catching a leaf that falls from a tree. It's the most spiritual, beautiful thing that can ever happen, and sometimes I just get on my knees and I pray to God out of thankfulness that it happened. And it came to me, and that's what I'm saying. Let it create itself, because it's trying to create itself. So beautiful. So I felt this is a very good example of what Lao Tzu here is talking about. Like the master acts without doing anything. When we're really in the flow, when you have this pure wish of creating something beautiful. Sometimes when you really be one with what you're wishing to do, it's sometimes I almost feel like you're not the one that's creating this, or you're not the one that's doing something. Sometimes I felt like ironic thing is when we put ourselves out of what you're trying to do, sometimes you actually be able to do a better job at it. So we certainly all want to, even though certainly I'm not Michael Jackson, and however, I think we've all had experience with intuition. Sometimes all those like aha moment. For example, you maybe have to be studying something or trying to figure something out, and suddenly, sometimes it often happens actually that at the moment that you were not thinking about what you're trying to get or trying to do, and that's usually when your mind is clear. I mean, next time when you have an intuition, try to remember what happened just before it happened. And when the intuition came to you, think about a moment that happened to you. It's like it just showed up, and you just know that is correct. You just know that's true. We all certainly want to, at least for me, I certainly would want to have more of these intuitions and this creative energy. So how do we then we can say it's more like here Michael Jackson he said, I'm just the source through which it comes. That certainly we are the source. Maybe for me, maybe the word channel for me might be a little more accurate saying. So we can be a channel through which it comes, and then our job is to then becoming a better channel, right? Okay, I do have an example here. For example, if I have a glass of water that's like filled with dirt and all the like dirty glass of water, and I have this light here, so were you able to see the light through this glass? And what happened if I empty this glass of water? Can you see the light that comes through? I think what we can do is basically becoming an empty glass. It can be our mantra for this lesson. Become an empty glass. So when we clear our mind, clearing. I know people probably a little more tired of my metaphor about this clear mirror. When we get rid of the dusts on the mirror, then maybe then the light can come through us. Okay, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. I think after what we've said, this teaches without saying anything is certainly it's obvious too. My own example, I'll just offer an example of my own example. So Ming has asked me to propose this idea of me teaching Daoism in Wu Healing Group, probably like a month. No, I started teaching about a month ago, right? So probably about a couple months ago. When he first talked to me, I was feeling nervous. I was like, what? I mean, Daoism, Laozi's wisdom, and what do I know about Daoism, and how can I do a good job of that would deserve your time? That was getting me nervous. So I was like, okay, I can do it. But let me prepare. And we all know the word. I feel like when I'm ready, I can teach. And we all know the word ready. Ready never actually comes, right? So Ming was good. Ming, and then a month ago, Ming sent me a text saying like, you're teaching Daoism next week. So I was like, okay. And, and then I thought about it. It was, how would I say it? When I put this I out of it, feel like I am going to have to teach. I'm having to do this thing. I feel nervous. However, then I think about it. Okay, so this is if you watch this is something that created by both you and me. I have this intention. I wanted to be able to provide something useful for everybody who watched this video. And I'm certainly, I'm not saying I'm just gonna come on the camera, I'm just gonna swing it. No, I spend at least 4 or 5 hours before each class to prepare. However, so I'm act. However, I'm let it happen. So I trust that that things that will be helpful for you and helpful for me when I prepare, it will come to me. And like when I'm talking here, that things that I felt that's beneficial, that it will come to me. And this way I just felt much more relaxed. And then I think I probably do a better job than having this I gotta do a better job. I have to teach this and I'm responsible with this. So that's my little bit of my understanding and from my own experience what this means by teaches without saying anything. Okay, it's right at 10:30, so I'm not gonna go over time this time. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope I'll see you next Thursday at 9:30 for 6 words breathing exercise and 10 o'clock for Daoism. And we didn't finish chapter 2, and we'll continue reading chapter 2. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.